Hey, you guys, it's Life with Nikki Lee podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing well and living your fullest every day. So, before we get this thing kicked off, I just want to say that let our thoughts and prayers go out to the residents of North Carolina and as well as Florida who are facing these hurricanes, y'all. Helene, she came through, she wrecked shop, she took several lives, and it's just really tragic and sad because they're still going through it. They're still going through it. So many people have lost so much. And now the residents of Florida are getting ready to brace themselves and go through the same thing. And I just want to say our thoughts and prayers are with y'all out there. I'm praying that the storm does not do the immense damage that the news says it's going to do. God can do anything any way he chooses. And I just pray that you all are covered and that in the event that you all do suffer from any kind of loss or damage, I pray that you can quickly get the resources that you need to recover. In Jesus' name, my thoughts and prayers are with y'all out there. Okay. So let's keep them in prayer, y'all. So tonight I want to talk about celibacy on this podcast. Tonight's podcast is called My 7-Year Celibacy, and it's my own story. It's my own journey of why I chose this path and what it means to me. And I'm also going to be speaking on sexual immorality and how detrimental it can be on someone's life. Now, yes, you heard me. I said 7 years. Don't come for me. It's very, very possible, especially if you're determined and you are just really trying to stay right with God and you're just seeking a higher path. You do what you got to do. For me, the choice came after suffering. Okay. And for those that don't know, suffering does bring you closer to God. And I really did have that experience where I had to go through some things to get to a higher ground with the Lord. Okay. So what grounded my decision was I had made a promise previous to making this vow that I did 7 years ago. I said that I was going to walk the straight and narrow, and unfortunately, I did not keep that promise. And even the Bible talks about, if you tell the Lord you're going to do something, you need to, it's best that you follow through with it. He takes those things serious, So the last relationship that I was physically intimate with someone and I didn't listen and I broke my promise, I suffered. Okay. I really suffered through that. That man was like crazy. He was horrible. He was abusive, all of the things. And it didn't happen. Those things did not start occurring until we were physically intimate with one another. And trying to be optimistic, I was hoping that, okay, well, maybe we can just start over. No. God was showing me signs left and right. I'm talking about more red flags than a carnival, honey. He was like, no, this person was not right for you. And the times that I was trying to ignore it, that's one thing about God. He will send you dreams. He will send you premonitions. He will even let you hear things. Even if it scares you, he will let you hear these things because he has to show you that this is not for you. And you have to listen. You have to take heed because if you don't, it's just going to get worse and you're not going to get any happier. Okay. It's not going to work out. Anything that's not ordained by God is not going to work. I don't care what you try to do, how you try to push it. It's not going to work. And so I knew I was being called to a higher path. And in order to follow that higher path, I knew that I was going to have to ground myself spiritually and do what I need to do, not just spiritually, but physically, to let the Lord know I'm serious about this. So after getting out of that situation, well, first of all, let me back up real quick. So what got so bad to the point where I was just like, hell no, got to go. So like I said, after this relationship, this person, like I said, he was abusive. He was horrible. Just, If I didn't know any better, I mean, I would have been like, this was the devil in the flesh himself. I mean, that mofo was evil. And but the spiritual thing that I experienced is one night we were laying up there and we were sleeping, right? We were laying up there and we were sleeping. And y'all, I kid you not, I heard something. The voice didn't even sound human, kind of deep, kind of raspy, and it was speaking another language. I kid you not. If I didn't know any better, I would say it was Latin. And I'm telling you, I heard it. I heard it clear. Y'all heard my dog barking in the background just now. Okay. I'm not lying. I am not lying about this. I heard it clear as day. So I'm telling you, when I was sleeping and I was hearing this, I was kind of coming out of my sleep. And as I was coming out of my sleep, it was like it tried to hurry up and stop talking. And I just remember sitting there thinking, what the hell? You know, what the hell? And it scared me so bad, y'all. It scared me so bad. After this relationship was over, I found out so many things about that guy. I found out like his use of drugs. Like I found out all these girls he had been with. I mean, it was just so disgusting. I was disgusted that I had any dealings with this guy, because even a couple of my friends were, they were just like, what the hell were you doing with something like that? Like, y'all are polar opposites. What were you thinking? And, that's not talking down on anybody that lives a different way or from a different walk of life, but they were saying the mentalities of, us and how different that they were. They were polar opposites. That's kind of like what I touched bases on in the last podcast when I was talking about people who were raised based on morals and principles and people who are raised based on survival. You can't flourish with people. I'm telling you, you can't flourish with people like that, because their mentality is always going to be, let me get what I can get, and then I'm dipping. They're very easily detached. You can't expect any emotion from them. They're going to just take and take until they can't take anymore. So like I said, after that experience, I had to go to God, and I was just like, look, after all of that, after me getting myself checked, because I had to get myself checked after I found out what was in that clown's phone. After I found out all these things, I went and got myself checked, and, everything was a clean bill of health. And I said, I'm starting over. I'm going celibate, and this is what I'm going to be. And I'm like, if I don't get my husband, then celibate I will remain, because I'm not opening myself up to anybody ever again, spiritually or physically, because it's all a spiritual and physical connection. For those of you guys who don't realize, like, sex is a portal. Okay? And if you let the wrong people come through there, it is going to affect your life in some kind of way. I don't care how attractive you think they are, or how great you think their body is, or how great the sex is. It's going to affect you in some kind of way. And if this is the wrong person, that's just going to take you down through there. And you're not going to experience that peace. And it wasn't until I pulled myself away and I got into a new environment, I got into a new headspace, and I just isolated. I completely isolated. And I was just like, I'm not letting anybody get near me like that.